Nobody's been in where? Okay, regardless. Okay, so check it out.
Well, let me check it.
Bro, you alright?
Yeah.
Okay, well, this is the first video that they're going to see this week. So this is how it's going to... So they're going to open with you, like, grabbing your head and feeling, you know... It's getting light on top, bro.
Welcome to the show,
There
guys.
you go. See, that's the kind of excitement we're looking for.
This is the 5 minutes with 5-star.
That is not going to be 5 minutes.
It's going to be just like 2-3 minutes.
It will not be. Check it out, guys. We have a 1819 Honda Accord in the bay. And the reason why it's done, we've already got the stereo in it that we were doing. It's a Rockford P500. He's just adding bass. And the reason why this is important is it has what feature we all hate?
4x4.
Automatic noise canceling. All right. So we talk about it a lot, but we also realize that a lot of people don't know what it is.
What is what?
Automatic noise canceling.
What is automatic noise?
Okay, get in the car.
Okay.
So what we thought we would do is... in this Accord, it has that obnoxious feature. This is the OG car, meaning this is one of the original gangster cars.
What does automatic noise canceling do to the car when you add in a subwoofer?
So there's two things that, first off, you have to understand there's two classifications for automatic noise canceling. One of them is fake engine noise, which can be electronically put into the car by the radio. So like the Fords have fake engine noise, some of the BMWs, some of the German cars, let's just classify it as German cars. And it's a pre-recorded sound that gets piped into the system. And it makes your subwoofers growl a little bit. Okay, and it's sometimes annoying. It can sometimes be really bad. Yeah. And then you have ANC, or automatic noise canceling. Now, how ANC works is it's an active system. So if you have like Bose headphones or Beats by Dre headphones or anything that like you wear on an airplane that kills your nose, like the Sonys he has or the Focal Bathas that I use.
They are the best.
The Sonys are the best. The Bathas are just the most comfortable. Then what's happening is in the car. So instead of the manufacturer making the car more quiet, they just invert the signal, do some math, put it in, and that's supposed to make everything more quiet. Give some people headaches. It's a lot of fun. But that system, okay, is perpetual, meaning the subwoofer is going to try to recreate the sound, which is going to make it louder, which then it's going to try to cancel it, which is going to make it louder. And so what you end up with is a wah, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. That's exactly what it does.
Sound like.
He says it's when you automatically put your hand over someone's mouth. Okay, automatic noise canceling. Hello. Stop. Anyways, so how you can identify whether your car typically has that is there's going to be microphones in the car. Usually there'll be some microphones up front by the handrail, by the little hand grabby thing, so like these up front. And then usually, could you grab a light? I can't. Oh, there it is, right there. So that little dot right there is the microphone.
Yes.
Oh, well, that sucks. His tip fell off. So, anyways, that is where the noise is going to be coming from. And in some cases, you can unplug those microphones and it goes away, which is cool. Now, some cars have ANC and fake engine noise, which is like, just kill me now. The problem with unplugging the microphones is that they're in really tough to get to places, and you could damage a headliner by getting to it. You know they have to go somewhere, to a box or something somewhere. In some cases, you can snip the wire on the microphones at the box. In some cases, there's just a drive control wire. Like in GMs, there's a purple with a blue stripe, which is just a drive control wire, meaning it's coming from the car, and it's telling it what it's doing. And if you get rid of that wire, then it just goes dead, which is fantastic. In other cases, like the Honda has an ANC module. The module is this guy right here located on these two brackets in the glove box. So this is it. They've been using this one for years. So what we thought we would do today is, first off, let you hear what it does. So we have the trunk closed. The windows need to be closed.
Some of the Hondas have it behind the glove box. Some of the Hondas had
behind the radio.
Under the radio.
Some of them have it on the center channel. So there are different places. Some of the newer cars, the center console.
It's
but
Google.
Yeah, Google's your friend. And the boxes all look the same.
All right.
All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start the car up.
How do you test that you have it?
You have to make sure that the windows are all closed, the doors are all closed, the hood is closed, the trunk is closed. It's sealed up tight.
Just basically just close the car.
I'll tell you in a minute how to tell the difference between the two.
Okay. We started the car.
We did start the car. All right, let me close that vent. So actually, let's just shut the vents off. Okay.
So you're starting your car, and then you are happy because you're gonna.
Yeah, whatever. Just rev it up.
You heard that? And
So-
now, hang on. Turn, because there's no volume.
Volume is 0.
Volume
Right?
is 0. So
No sound.
no sound is 0. But as soon as I press the gas,
Yeah. I love the at the end. So if you see this on an RTA, what you see is the and then at the end you see that because it's just a low rumble. Now the other problem is with some of them, when you start beating up the car, you can see it on the RTA and you'll hear it through the subwoofer.
it's just the
The tint in the back.
Tint.
Yeah, the air rushing out. So now that is what it does. One more time.
it's crazy. Anyway, so
What's up, man? V13. Hey.
What's up?
So anyway, so that is what it does.
Yeah.
Now you asked what's the difference and how do you test? How do you test the difference between fake engine noise and ANC microphones? Really the test is the same. So when you look at it on RTA, they basically do the same thing. They give you that sound. So because what you're mimicking is the engine revving. So when you rev up the engine, it tries to sound like exhaust. So like he's gonna rev it up. So both of them look identical when you're testing them on a RTA.
Yeah.
So the only thing I can say is when you are testing them, grab a speaker that you want and then disconnect the speaker. You also want to go down to 0,
on the RTA.
on the RTA. And if it has fake engine noise, it will go out of the range of the screen. Like it'll be like, whoa, and it'll cover the whole thing and you'll just be like, what the heck is that? Because it's adding in amplification. Now, the reason why you disconnect the speaker is because the speaker turns into a microphone. And as you're revving up the engine, you'll get a little bump in there. You'll get that. Not that loud. It'll just look like it on the RTA because the speaker is actually picking up the sound of the motor in the cab of the car and is giving you a fake read. So you disconnect it. The ANCs will go well outside of, if you're at 0 dB or negative 100, it's like negative 100. It'll go way outside of that range. Like it'll just clear the page and you'll be like, whoa, what the frick? That's the amount of it'll do. Whereas fake, meaning a false read will only go up like 5 dB, and then a voltage increase from the alternator, which you're going to see at negative 100, you'll get a little bit of a fake one, and that is actually because the alternator is turning on and it's giving you what looks like ANC, but it's not. So, turn the car off, open your door. Now, for us in this car, it's actually quite simple. All we have to do is reach.
Oh,
I was going to say, you're going to look at yourself?
I want to.
I was going to say, yeah. Okay.
There you go.
So all you got to do for this is come in here and unplug this module, this guy here, throw it in the body parts bag. And now, if we shut the doors again, we'll start it up. Give it a second to catch up. Go ahead and rev up the engine. And it's gone. That's simple. Yeah. So in some cases it can be that easy. Like it can be this. It's just a module that comes out. This morning we had a Buick Encore, and the Buick Encore had fake engine noise, but it was a bass audio system, just like this one. And believe it or not, it was actually, if you bought the pack T-harness for the car, the GM 71 T-harness, they had unpinned the wire because it was that purple blue wire we mentioned a couple minutes ago. And that was it. You plugged it in and fake engine noise was all gone. Now, in some cases, it's always testing to see if it's got fake engine noise with your RTA. And you want to do it quick because you want to be able to find out, hey, what is going on here? And how is it, because most new cars have it. Nissans have it. Hondas have it. Toyotas now have it. Chryslers have it. It's like it's everywhere. It's just the new normal stupid crap. In a sedan, it's real easy to get to this rear speaker to test it. However, in like a truck, it might not be that easy. However, this speaker right here and a sail panel, it's going to be connected to the amplifier. It will have ANC, so you can pop this sail panel off and you can test it here. If it's got an A-pillar and there's a tweeter in the A-pillar, you can pull the A-pillar off and you can test it at the A-pillar. If it's got a speaker in the dash, the grill pops up on. Pop the grill up, pull the two 7 or 10 millimeters that are holding the screw in, and test it there. You can test it very fast and find out what's going on. Now, you don't need a test track. You just need an electrical RTA to test it. Something similar like the IRTA2 that we sell on DNF Tool Drawer was specifically designed with testing for that stuff in mind. Okay, so that's why we tell everyone, hey, you need an electrical RTA. That's why we came out with an electrical RTA, because this is a 2018, 2019 car. This is a 6-year-old car and it has this problem. This one is easy because all you have to do is go into the glove box, it's all over the internet, tell you how to do it. However, the Buick Encore we had this morning was not. We spent an hour going through trying to figure out where the hell this thing was. And so finally we got to the point where like, what do we do? And then, we plugged in the harness. We found that there was a purple blue wire and then it was unpinned. Magic, boom, Bob's your uncle, no more engine noise. So, it's one of those things.
Bob is you, Uncle Bobby?
Bob's your uncle. Uncle Bobby B, baby. Anyways, so that is just that is a quickie on as far as what that stuff does, what that stuff sounds like, so you guys have a better idea of what is going on and what you're looking for. Now, a lot of people confuse fake engine noise with other things. So let's talk about some of those examples where the car actually doesn't have it, but people get all excited. And that has to do with the type of high-level to low-level adapter you use. Fernando, come on over here for a second. So if you tap, in this case, like this Honda, we know that this rear speaker here is the same as that front speaker there. It doesn't do anything else. So if one of the tests we do is Fernando will start up the car, and we'll say, he'll go, I'm going to pop the trunk. Notice the windows are all rolled up. He pops the trunk. He shuts off the car. He pops the trunk. And then I lift the trunk. Pop it again. Got to press and hold. Just got to figure out how to pop the trunk. Oh, it's the glove box. Hang on. Hold that thought. No, you cannot use a kicker key lock. A key lock doesn't have any ability to kill ANC. ANC is something that's actively put in. Hold this. And because it's an actively put in piece, a key lock is an EQ. It DEQs static things. This is not that. This is dynamic. So it's going to fluctuate with how the car is, how fast you're going, how much noise is going inside. So no, a key lock cannot get rid of ANC. Nothing can get rid of ANC other than disconnecting or doing away with ANC. That's why it's such a problem, is that there's no solution for it other than disabling it. How fun is that, right? Yeah, so cool. All right, we're gonna go back to what we were talking about. I just have to put these two screws in so my glove box doesn't fall out. All right, we'll get the rest of the screws in a minute. All right, let's go back to what we were doing. So what we're going to demo is Fernando starts the car, he shuts the door, he starts the car. What we're doing is we're recreating how someone is going to use their car. So someone is going to pull into the spot, they're going to turn the car off, they're going to pop the trunk, and or I need to get into the trunk, so I'm gonna be like back here, man. Hey, like pop the trunk, bro. Okay, so now we pop the trunk and you lift it up like this. It bounces. These speakers move, and the subwoofer goes. And you're like, what the frick is going on? Okay, well, the reason why it does that is because depending on how the DC offset is working in the factory radio, in some cases it stays on. Like on this, if we look here, the DC offset is already shut off when the radio shut off. If it was to stay on, when these speakers bounce, because that trunk lid open, they're gonna bounce just a little bit. In some cases, it is enough electricity that gets fed back into the woofer to fool it, and this typically only happens with very poorly designed signal sense, not DC offset, signal sense. Anyways, it's gonna move, and it is going to turn the subwoofer on, and it is gonna create a perpetual problem to where it will start moving and yeah. And then it doesn't know when to stop because it starts moving that speaker, which moves this speaker more, and then it just gets louder and louder and louder. That is not fake engine noise. That is just a very crappy high level to low level adapter that doesn't have any filtering on it. Now, the simple fix for that is to run a remote turn on wire, hook it up to an accessory in the car that turns on when the car turns on, and that will solve that whole thing, and or just get a better high level to low level adapter. Now, some amplifiers, if you started to notice, come with switches, and those switches say DC offset off. And the reason why they have those, I have an example right here. I know, surprise. So this has DC auto turn on circuit off. This is the turn off DC offset. And the reason why that exists is specifically for that problem. Okay, now the other thing is a lot of the times we're grabbing the driver's front door. The same thing happens. You start up the car. Okay, the car is running. You turn the car off. And then you open this door, and it bounces because of this. And then that speaker goes like this a little bit, charges the amplifier up, and the subwoofer goes whoop, and then it stops because the door stopped moving, and there's not enough dynamic energy coming from back there to keep this speaker keep moving. Okay, so you just get that turn off whoop. And you're like, what the frick was that? Okay, that's not fake engine noise either. There again, it's the same result as the crappy high level to low level adapter that you put in the back of the car, causing the same problem in the front of the car. Okay, so in a nutshell, a kicker key lock will fix that because it's a much nicer piece and it has filtering built in to make sure that stuff doesn't happen. As well as like the LCs over here, all the audio control stuff will do that. The wave tax will do it. Most amplifiers of note have better high level to low level adapter circuits in it that will prevent that from happening also. So those are the ones that really throw people off because they'll be like, it has fake engine noise. It's like, no, that's not how fake engine noise works. Fake engine noise will always work the way we just showed you how it works. It will never do anything different. All right, let's see what we got here. Here, Fernando, do me a favor.
Let me put it back in.
No, I got it. I got one more screw to put in. What does it say here? Take that and read the bottom question. Here, hand me the parts.
All right, so
drag up.
What do we say?
No, just read the questions.
2021 Mustang Mach 1.
Yeah, Mach 1.
What is the good affordable three-way front stage?
Oh, you know the answer to that.
Is Morel Maximo. Morel Maximo are the one that are affordable. They fit perfectly nice. So where you can find those is in morelhifi.com. morelhifi.com, where you can watch and see what speakers I'm talking about, is here on Instagram, Morel_America, or go to Facebook, Morel America Inc. That's where you can find those speakers. But they are affordable, they sound nice.
And if you want to go up a level, you can go into the new Virtus, because the new Virtus will fit also.
Or the Sensus.
No, they won't. The Sensus won't fit. They won't fit in a Mustang.
Why?
The mid-range is too big. They have the big.
They have the Elite. What is the other ones? The
No, it's just those. It's Vertus down. Will fit in a Mustang.
yes.
Vertus up will not. Anything above. So the Vertus Carbon Nanos, the Vertus, the ones you mentioned, those will all fit inside of a Mustang. No problem.
Okay.
Fun.
Dean.
Yes, sir.
So the DSP is getting his remote.
His.
Has remote in and remote out.
Yeah.
So should I use the head unit remote, go to the DSP, then to the amplifiers and epicenter?
Correct. If a DSP has remote in, remote out, and that is your main signal source, meaning you're coming from the radio remote in, and then out of the DSP to control everything. The reason why that exists is most DSPs either have an adjustable delay to turn on the amplifiers, and or they have a delay that's built in. They've done some testing and they've figured it out. The one thing you don't want is everything to turn on all at once. That's usually how you can get a turn on and off thump. So if a DSP has an output, or any device has an in and an out, always use that in and out to control whatever amplifiers are on the other side of it. So, for example, if we come over here and we look at an Epicenter Micro, which is like one of the popular high level to low level adapters, it has ground in, it has 12 volt in, has remote in, remote out. So if I'm over here and I decide like I have an aftermarket radio and I want to use the aftermarket radio, I flick this switch up to remote in, I run my deck power into here, and I run this out to my sub amp. I don't have to use this to power anything other than the sub amp, because the only thing these RCAs are going to be connected to is the sub amp. Now, if I look at something like a DSP here, we have remote level control. We have, here we go. So you have 12 volt ground. We have a remote in, remote out. Now this is going to power everything. So in that case, I need to make sure that my remote in is coming from whatever source I'm using, and my remote out is powering anything that is on the other sides of these RCAs. And that'll prevent it from going boom when it turns on. Something like a DSR1 doesn't have that. And so when we were putting those in like gangbusters a couple years ago, where that was like the thing to do, we noticed that we were running into problems like that. We would get sequencing issues to where the radio would turn on, the DSP would turn on, the amplifiers would turn on, and everything would just go bump, and you'd be like, Jesus Christ. Now, if it does something like that, you can actually solve it by going with this guy right here. This is the AXPS. This is a turn on and off popper. And so what you would do is you would hook up your remote turn on from your source unit to the DSP, wire it off to that thing, okay, and then use that thing to turn on everything downstream from the DSP. So the radio turns on the DSP turns on, gets all excited, and it's like, ah! And then that inrush of current is going to a dead amplifier. The amplifier waits 5 seconds, goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boop, turns on, it's missed that signal that's coming into it, and guess what? Everything is great. You've lost your turn on pop. Now you can do the same thing for turn off. You can add in a turn on delay. You don't have to, but if you get something that turns off, boom, and it pops when it turns off. Okay, same problem, more or less, just in reverse. So now you set it up to do that. So you have the products that make noise stay on until you're far enough away from it so that it doesn't make that pop. If you can't do a sequencing, figure out what is needing to stay on and what is needing to stay off. So there's a bunch of different things you can do. Like in some cases, you might have to hook the radio or the amplifiers up to the car. They turn off when the key turns off, but you keep the DSP on when the car turns off. And the DSP turns off, and it doesn't inrush voltage into the amplifier and cause the problem. So there's a bunch of different things you can do with multiples of those as well. So sometimes 2 of those has become very handy. But it has an input controller and an output controller built into it. It's one of those things that you just keep around. It's from Metra. It's the access piece, because you never know when you're going to need something like that. We got a new light, and it changes colors. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. It's a little big. It's a little bigger than I thought. So now when I'm standing here, it's like right next to my head. But, good look. I don't know. Anyways, what's up, Elias? You're doing great today. So if you can't find it, okay, we got that. All right. Oh, wait. All right. Let me scroll down here. I have that problem with my DSR1. Yeah. So really where we ran into a lot of that was in the Chevys, and so we would have the DSR1 would turn. So what we were doing is we were doing an amp pro into a DSR1 and amplifiers, and so we would have the amp pro turn on the DSR1, and we'd have the car turn on the amplifiers. So we'd get an accessory to turn on the amplifiers, and it would give it enough of a sequence delay, because that piece didn't exist back then, to solve the issue for us. But now that we have that, we just, there you go. Please ask my question. Okay, hold on. There's always... I don't know what your question is. Car audio lab. Oh, wait, hold on, let's see. Lab, reason for question. Yeah, you gotta ask the actual question. What piece was that again, Dean? No problem. This is the Access. Now, we have a great video showing you how to use this. So if you search Access, Metra Access, AXPS. AX-PS. So... this thing is magical. Gotta stop. And the nice thing is it has a full color display. Watch the video on it. It's freaking awesome. But it has a full color display, so you don't have to count beeps or anything like that. It makes it really cool and easy to use. Warm weather in Ohio, and now we wedge self between. Have fun. Oh, no problem, man. No problem. It's one of those things you just gotta have laying around. All right, what was... Where can I find info on finding ANC modules for specific cars? So if you're in the industry, there's a group called Where's All the Mics. They do ask you to make sure if you're in the industry to find it, but honestly, 9 times out of 10, we just find it on Google. Because it's enough of an issue now to where... most people are talking about it. I figure at some point car manufacturers would get the hint, but we all know how stupid they are, so they're never going to get the hint. I mean, this would all be great if they just give us a preamp section on a factory radio, but no. Do you have any experience with the Zapco Blue Note micro amps with DSP? The only experience I have is when Chris Bennett brought them here for us to show you guys. Outside of that, no. It uses it uses the generic Chinese software, which is not a bad thing. That's just a thing because it's how we classify that software. Most of the stuff on the shelf here uses that software. It's a layer of theirs, so it's good software. It's very bulletproof, very easy to use. So yeah, they seem fine. So does the DSP remote out have enough voltage to turn on 2 amps, epicenter, or do I need a relay? Yeah, it will. Okay, so unlike the past, we'll just call it the past, you needed relays to turn on amplifiers because they were drawing a lot of current to turn on. Most devices now do not. The remote turn on section, you can almost whisper on it, and there's enough voltage in that to turn it on. Most products require very little power to turn them on anymore. So no, you shouldn't need a relay to turn on. I haven't put a relay on a remote turn on in a very, very long time. The only time you'd need a relay on a remote turn on is if you're going to turn on something other than a remote turn on. So some people will want lights or LEDs or something like that to turn on with the remote. In that case, yes, you have to, because they're trying to draw voltage over the remote turn on output, and it's not designed to do that. Most equipment needs 300 milliamps to turn on, if not less. So like I said, you can almost the energy of you. That's a joke. Remote turns on. So yeah, yes, the output's plenty of power. Add remote to alarm went south.
Looking for the car stereo? Yes. It's
For what speakers do you recommend for 2010 Nissan Titan crew cab, front door and back? It's a 6x9 Kenwood 6902s. You know, check out the Kenwood Excellent line of speakers. They're pretty nice. Okay, Carlab. He asks, when analyzing an electronic signal with pink noise with Phonic PA3, select dBu or dBV and range. I think mines are dead because I haven't used them. I don't even think I have batteries in them anymore. I honestly don't know, and I don't have enough AAA batteries to turn it on to see. Yeah, there's no batteries in that one. Does your Phonics, does your PA3 work? All my Phonics are dead. I mean, just hit the power. You don't have to put up the mic. Does it turn on? Oh,
No,
yeah.
no.
No, hold on.
It's on.
Yeah, it's this.
I don't know. It's on.
I know. I gotta see it. Okay. So Fernando still works. So, let's see. Value. SP. All right. So, select dBu or dBV. All right. Hold on. Let me check here. Decay range dB. Okay. Escape. Settings. All right. Wayne level range. Max level peak hold caliper. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is that it? Flat. I always have. Okay. Weighting is flat. Escape. What menu is that in? I haven't used this thing in so long. Yeah, shoot. Phase check, generator, power. Oh. What is that? SPL. I have it in volt. So for line, I use volt. So I think this is the page you're talking about. So so to be fair, the only thing we've ever used this for is electrical testing. That's why the batteries are all dead, because we use our tool now. So we've always only set it up for volt. So I don't know if that helps, but that's where we're at on that. Because yeah. Thank you, Fernando. Here you go. You can turn it off. Okay. I missed that show. Bobby, you're welcome. Afternoon, guys. Love my Hertz X6x9 4-ways. Oh, those are nice. How would you connect remote wires to 2 amps and an epicenter? So, in most cases, like the source unit is powering sending the remote output. So it just depends on what you have going on. So if we're talking like there is a source unit up front that has a remote output, the remote up front in the radio should be enough to turn on those 3 things. Now, if it's a Champion series epicenter, it has power, ground, and remote in. If it's a micro, then it has power, ground, remote in, remote out. So you would use the remote in, the remote out would go off to the sub-amp. And then whatever's feeding the remote in on the epicenter, you'd also feed the other highs amp with. So otherwise, you would just run everything in a daisy chain. Come into one, out to the other, out to the other. And there again, they're not drawing enough current. Your radio will have enough power to turn those things on. Hey Dean, do you see distortion differences with head units when you Okay, I have this little bug. When you use a 1K 0 dB versus a 40K dB, if so, what frequencies do you set to? So, yes, depending on the radio, you will see distortion more readily in the 1000 kilohertz tone than in the 40 hertz tone. If it's a factory radio, you'll definitely see it in the 1000 hertz before you'll see it in the 40 hertz, because most factory radios have a boost somewhere at 1000 hertz, and they have a cut well before 40 hertz. So at 0 dB at 40 hertz, you might not even get enough signal out of a factory radio to show distortion at all. That's why Tony tells you to use the gain train, which is go all the way to the last device in the system and set each one up through that. If you haven't watched Tony D'Amore's gain train video, go watch that. It's whether you have a DD1 or DD1 Plus or just anything with a distortion detector in it, that is the best explanation of how to set up so that you don't have to do a ton of work and you'll get to the same result. And he would know because he designed the piece. So, and he's the godfather of distortion detecting, really. So, but yeah, go check out his video called Gain Train. You're welcome. Oh, hello. Hello, Columbia. What's up, guys? Quick question. If I fuse up front and in the back when I split the power for two amplifiers, should I fuse it by the amps with a fuse splitter in the back? Okay, so I don't know if I read that right or if it makes any sense, but I think I can figure this out enough to where it might make the most sense. All right, let's talk about fusing in general. All right, so the fuse up front is the most important fuse, and it is only important because it is protecting your car from burning to the ground. It is not protecting the amplifiers, okay? Big misconception. Everyone assumes that the fuse underneath the hood is protecting the amplifiers. It's not. It's protecting your car from burning to the ground because it goes through the metal firewall. Anything that goes through a firewall needs to have a fuse on the side where the power is coming from. So if there's power on one side, there should be a fuse on that side. That's why you put the fuse by the battery. It's the smartest place to put it. You just want the fuse to be closest to where if the wire shorts out, it blows as fast as humanly possible. That's why you put it next to the power source. So that fuse underneath the hood is usually the combined total of whatever is in the back, but it really doesn't need to be, because like if you have a high amp that draws, let's say 50 amps of current, and a sub amp that draws 50 amps of current, that should be a 100 amp fuse. If all you got laying around is an 80, you'll be fine, because the high amp will never draw that much current. Either way, that is just there to protect the car. Now, when you go to a distribution block, fuse holder distribution block in the back of the car by the amplifiers, those are not there to protect the amplifiers either, per se. What they're there to do is protect the amplifiers from each other. So think of it as a recess guard. That fuses are there, so if let's say your sub amp decides to blow up its power supply, that doesn't go over and blow up your high amp. There's a fuse between the two fuses to be exact, and it's going to blow that before it blows up your amplifier. That's what that is for. The only way for an amplifier to protect itself is to either have really awesome short circuit detection BS built into it, or have the fuses mounted to it, okay, so that they blow super quick. Because it doesn't, like, these are small wires that are inside of these things, and they will burn fast. And if you think about, like, the fuse underneath the hood, and you look at, like, a power supply wire, and you go, oh, yeah, that fuse that's 20 feet away, or 15 feet away, or 10 feet away, that's 80 amps, is going to blow instead of this little tiny 16-gauge wire that's on my power supply. Yeah, or this little tiny 18 or 22 gauge leg that's on this MOSFET. Yeah, that'll catch it. That'll catch it. No, it won't. The fuse distribution block is there so that if your power supply just goes and shorts out, that it will then, when that feeds back, it should blow the fuse because it went to a dead short. It shouldn't blow up your other amplifier. So if your amplifiers all have fusing on them, you don't necessarily need you can get away with a distribution block instead of a distribution block fuse holder. However, just go with the distribution block fuse holder because it looks cool, I guess. I don't know. Helix X device, when I set the target frequency to adjust the crossover and connect the Fluke 123 oscilloscope and the circuit, there's a slight difference between the frequency read by the oscilloscope. Yeah. There again. All right, the big all right, nothing is perfect is really what it comes down to. So if you're looking, okay, when you're looking at a digital, like a piece of software, so like if it's Helix with a DSP, and you type in a number, that number is a graphical representation of what that processor should be doing. If the processor is off plus or minus 10%, like it can be, the number will be slightly off. The other thing too is if you look at like on an amplifier, like these knobs, these are not precision pieces of equipment that we all assume they are. So when I turn this to 80, okay, or what I think is 80, is it actually 80? Probably not. It's going to be close, but it might not be exactly 80, even though the silk screen above it says that it should be 80. On most amplifiers, that is, there again, it's plus or minus 10%, could be plus or minus 20%, could be plus or minus 2%. It just depends on what they're using. So your Fluke 123 is probably way more accurate than the amplifier is capable of being, because there again, they build in a percentage of offness to it. But usually it's close enough to where it doesn't matter. Yay. There is no wind blowing today, Stu. All right. You good? Mm-hmm. You feel better?
Oh, yeah.
What time is it? Oh, it's almost 5. Oh, thank God. Update. So, do you know where we put it? Oh, so yesterday we fired up the X tool, which is nice, and we made the X tool ruler. That was exciting. We also used the X tool to do an iPhone iWatch band. I wasn't as impressed with this. Apparently I got to play with the settings. It just kind of shined it up a bit, which I want to go like deep into it. So we'll play with it some more till we get that right. But this turned out really nice. Because these are scores. So these are actually pretty thick. So these look really good. So good news there. We're finally getting to turn on. We found out a couple things that were annoying about it that kind of screwed us over, but we got it working. The other thing I have to do apparently is the whole reason for this is I don't want to go over Wi-Fi. I want to plug directly into my laptop. And it's a USB-C. And the only cable they gave you is a USB-C to regular USB, which sucks. And the only USB-C to USB-C cable I had in the store last night was this little guy right here, which is this is what we use to flash iData modules. So I have to get a USB-C to USB-C that's longer in order to. I could connect over Wi-Fi, but I don't want to. Because that's the whole reason to get away from the Glowforge is the whole Wi-Fi thing, and it's got to be connected to the internet and blah 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 blah. I don't have to worry about that because the Wi-Fi here sucks sometimes. Happy Stew Day. Okay. Best way to daisy chain remote wires. It's just to go in and out, in and out, in and out. What I like to do for cosmetic purposes is I will run them all to a central place and I will connect them all there. So, when you're doing the clean wire stuff is I'll run it out of 1 amp back, whatever processor, all back to a point, and then I'll solder it all together right there. So. Anyways, we good?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we got for today, guys. Hope everything works out. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Bye. This thing purple?
Huh?
This is purple? This looks purple. Yeah, it's purple. Or like the ultimate faded black. So, crazy. No, we need the other ones. These are the wrong ones. We need the 63s.
What is that?
These are the 62s.
Oh my
Those are for your car. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to tell the story, got to tell the story right. Good, happy Monday, everyone. We're back in the Bay. We actually just got off the plane from Dallas.
Fresh out of the boat.
I mean, yeah, we've been here I had enough time to unpack all the crap that was in my backpack.
Yeah.
And then Fernando's getting ready to unpack his backpack right now. And then we're going to start on this car. So, and I'm already wearing my work clothes. Ooh, yeah, got my work shoes on and everything like that. So, I did not wear these on the plane. It's okay. Hello?
Cameras.
Yeah, you can put those away. Good call. I need to take that SD card out of the camera, though.
Yep.
And don't leave the camera in that bag, please. So, a couple things. Toyota are the new F-150s. No. We do a lot of them, but no. The Austin airport right now, waiting to get back home. Oh, yeah. We got delayed about an hour because we needed a pilot. So, but it's okay. It's a quick flight from Dallas to here, apparently on American. I don't remember it being that fast. It was only like an hour and 49 minutes. So I'm guessing they had the afterburner on, or we flew over the Gulf. I'm assuming we probably flew after the Gulf. Afternoon. How was the weather in Texas? It was crap. It was crap. It was 100% crap. This is like some of the worst, and it's nothing against Texas, but I think this is like the worst weather we've ever had on any trip we've ever gone on. It rained the whole time, and it was freezing by our standards. So, and that's anything below 50 or at 50 or around 50. But we had a great time. We gained a ton of knowledge. One of the things I feel bad about, I don't regret it, I feel bad we didn't get a chance to go live and show you guys the finished product. And when we said the last one of these we did on Friday, we said, hey, we'll come on later and show you guys. And that was the last piece of sane moment we had. It has been 110 miles an hour since that moment. Except for last night. Well, last night when it was over, like we went out for dinner, had a great time. Thank you everyone that was there. You know who you are. And that was, but up until then it was like go. Yeah. Thank you, iData, for paying the bill.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Robert at iData. But no, so we didn't get a chance to. There was never a slow moment where we could actually show you what we did, and what do you think? Was it 4 times or 5 times? I feel like we moved it and reinstalled it. I know we completely removed it and reinstalled it at least 3 times. I think we pulled it out, parts of it 4 times, or at least 5 times.
4 times.
4 times?
4 times.
So we pulled it. So we installed and uninstalled the JVC 8-inch kit, direct fit kit.
The APX what?
No, it's a direct fit kit. It's a JVC direct fit kit, and it's the Maestro Apex kit.
Finally.
we had well, you know, any comments on the Horizon 12-inch unboxing in the near future? I don't have a 12-inch. I only have a 10-inch. So I would just like to get to the 10-inch. The plan is probably... So right now everybody's super busy with MasterTech right around the corner and then CMA right around the corner from that. So for like the next... we leave next Wednesday to go to MasterTech, and then I leave the following Wednesday, when there's a week, and then the following... Anyways, sometime in April, we're going to get Matthew on the show. I think he'll be back in town, and we're going to go over the iData DSP controls through that radio. If we can get a 12-inch by then cool, maybe they'll leave with us, and we can do more touchy-feely with it. but that's kind of where we're at on that. So these next couple months, next few weeks, it'll all be over. It'll all be over on April 7th. So, he finally said kit. No. Yeah, well, I've always said kit, but they decided to drop the word dash kit. And after 30 years of saying dash kit, that's the running joke. We call them dash kits. We've called them dash kits forever, but they're just calling the Apex kits. Because they decided that. And so we did shoot an install video for
they decided
JVC.
That and they didn't let you know.
Yeah, they decided and didn't let us know until that morning. So we shot an install video of the 2016 Chevy Silverado for JVC with the help of our good friends at CMA. And so wordage was fun. Nope, still dash kits. I'm not going to argue that point. I'm with you on that, but they decided. So when you're making a video for somebody else, you got to play by their rules. Nice, I'll be like, oh yeah, definitely look out for it. So anyways, we didn't get a chance to come on and show you guys what we wanted to show you. I really wanted to. It's been a very long couple days, and we had a fantastic time. And thank you JVC for bringing us out to do this. We got a lot of positive feedback on it, which was great. Everybody had a great time. So yes, there is news on the new Kenwood Radio shipping dates. We were hoping for sometime in April, but it is looking at like sometime in May. With things being the way they are right now, May is more than likely going to be the time that they are supposed to be coming in. We're hoping for early May, because they were supposed to be late April, so now we're hoping early May. But no, it ought to be fine. It'll be fine. But it's definitely gonna be worth the wait. I can tell you that these things look fantastic. When you turn the car off in this Chevy Silverado, when you turn this thing off, you would not even know that there was a JVC radio in there. You wouldn't even know. You could never tell. Somebody's going to look at that car and they'll be like, that the identity side alone is going to sell the radio, because there's no difference. Like, it looks like the factory screen until you turn it on and it's 4 times brighter and it does 10 more things than the factory radio. So
way cooler.
It is so much cooler. Oh, this guy bought his Triumph motorcycle from Crash Toys. That place was cool.
Yeah, that place was.
Really cool.
Yeah. I was about to do a bet for $175.
I don't know, Bobby. I don't know. I don't know. I talked to him about them, and he was like, You guys should try these out. And my answer to that is, I'd love to try them out. Send me some. So I don't know. Like, custom RCAs are always just like, I can't wait for you to install it, dude. Trust me, I can't either. Because when we install it, it's going in the Mustang, and that's gonna be a big moment, because that means that's the start. Speaking of the start. We had a great time. Dallas was fantastic, but we are back in the Bay. This is in for a new radio. We're going to get to that in a minute. But we've been teasing about this all weekend, more or less. And I want to open it up and see what they look like. And, of course, anytime I open anything up, I want to make sure you guys are here to see it. So these are the Sensus 63s. Now, you guys have seen these. This is not what we're talking about. So we've seen these. This is the 3-way set with the new tweeter that looks so sexy. I really, it's one of those things where I wish I could mount it like this because it looks sexy. It's like one of the beautiful basket subwoofers. However, we've got these, which are the new towers that these things are going to, the future home of these. Just lay it down flat. And
Keep
so
it upright.
So be careful, because there's like, don't go like super deep. I know, right? I give it a try, Bobby, and then let me know what you think. You know that. So these are the towers that we're going to. Oh, it's double boxed. Oh, fantastic. So this is what is in here, and I kind of. Whoa, bro, why are you ripping them, man?
Sorry.
Why are you ripping them? This guy comes at these things like a jackhammer. Anyways, I want to kind of see what these look like in person. These are, of course, Dayton Audio speaker cabinets that we got. I got. Make sure you cut it here. Cut it there. There you go. Why would you not cut the whole thing? This is the only time this guy moves slow. So these are going to be the future home of these. And as I was saying, I got these on sale from Parts Express. They actually only had black, which I was like, hell yeah, that's what I want. And so, actually, put this down here. We can set it on that. Look at him go. Ooh, that's the bottom. So hold on. Wait. Slide this down. Slide that down some. Okay, now just set it over there onto that piece of foam. Oh, I should buy some speaker spikes for it. Yeah, I'll order some speaker spikes. That'll just make our own. All right, so this is them. So the Sensus are gonna go in here. Grab a plastic. This comes off. Maybe a plastic pry tool.
I'm going to grab my
Your
iData
green iData harness. Yes, all the kits from iData come with this green Maestro tool now.
Right.
Be careful, it's gonna crack in the middle. Mm-hmm. This thing is cheap, man.
Why do you buy something cheap?
Because you got this, bro. You got this.
There you go.
All right, so here we go. Here's what we got. So the goal is to take. We're gonna laser cut a panel. We'll put
That's
this
the
tweeter.
same size, probably.
No, it's that's what I wanted to check because this is a little small. We might 3D print it. I don't know. Anyways, this probably 3D print a cup to go here.
Yeah.
And that'll go there. So we have the tweeter covered, and then we'll definitely laser this and make a bracket for the 4-inch to go there, and then the 6-inch will go on the bottom. Probably still have to make a bracket for that because that looks kind of big. Flip it around the other way. I want to just line up the holes. There you go. Yeah, we'll probably have to make a small bracket.
Come on, man.
Nah, it's got to be perfect, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You have to make a bracket.
Yeah. So that will go there. So that's the plan. The plan is to mount these things in here. Now, the sucky thing is it probably won't happen until after April 7th because we're not going to have any time between now and then to do these. I'll take the audio drivers you're removing, please. Let's get that far first, okay? Might even just see how these sound at some point. I mean, I feel like we should probably plug them in before we take them all apart, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, so these are going to be the new home for the Sensus 63s. Yeah. The 62s will be in his car for a while. Are the towers enough airspace? Yeah. It's plenty. It's plenty of airspace. Remember, it's just got an emulated door. This is a lot of airspace here. So, have an amp receiver and storage. Old Integra amp. Nice. We actually have the audio control mini amps to power these things. Do you trust any of the lithium batteries on the market? I mean, everyone seems. I don't really know, but everyone's like Limitless seems to be real popular. I'm just going by popularity. So you probably know all this. So you've probably seen the batteries. You know, the other guys that make all the batteries, the guys that own Sundown. They seem to be. Everyone seems to like their batteries too, but I have done absolutely no research into lithium batteries, so I have no idea what's good, bad, or indifferent. So, wrong guy for the advice. I'm just going to tell you the name brands that you already know. but they do scare the crap out of me. Now there is the new one that Catalano was telling us about at Diamond that they're going to be using that are supposedly safer. But how was Dallas? Sorry I didn't catch y'all. Listen, we were swamped, dude, so we wouldn't even have had time. You know what the weather was like. We just dealt with that. We had a fantastic time, though. It was fun. We had a great time. Mm-hmm. It's a different group of people for us because these are not the frontline guys that we are. These are my brain just shut down. These are distributor salespeople. Yeah. So we know them, but we don't typically interact with them in this way. So it was fun to do that because it's a different conversation you get to have. What you guys do is awesome. Still working on the remote start removal. What a pain. Oh yeah, I bet. Dean, I was asking about the Resin X RCAs because I think no, Bobby, go ahead and get a kit and let me know what you think. I mean, I trust your judgment. When are the Sensuals coming out? The Sensus are already out, so these are already out. But you're talking about the radios; those won't be out until May now.
Yeah, that's correct.
Sensus, yeah. So no, the Sensus are already out. You can get the 63s or the 62s.
Yes.
This is the set here. So it uses the Elate basket, standard magnet, smaller voice coil. So now you have the Sensus, the hybrids, and the Elates all in this basket.
This is a brand new tweeter.
Yeah. Brand new makeup of the tweeter. And then this is the mid-range for the set. This is a bigger mid-range. This is like a full 4-inch. So
this tweeter is called Pinch Me.
This tweeter is
dreaming.
Yes,
see?
It is. So what's up, Jeff? Dean, speaking of which, I need a remote starter installed as well as Dayton audio DSP loudspeakers, 80 surfboard amps. Oh, Weber fan is just being funny. Yeah, no, that is so sexy.
Thank you.
Yes.
I have to take a shower.
Yes. Is that a wideband mid-range? No, this is not a wideband mid-range. This is just a mid-range. This stuff does not have the wideband. This is a standard 3-way set but this is a big guy. So this is a 4-inch. This is not a 3.5 or a 2.5. So if this isn't going to fit, you have to make sure you have room for this. This is going to be definitely custom mount for sure. So now if you want something that is smaller and will fit, the new Virtus 63s.
Yes.
So the new line of Virtus 63s does come with the standard size smaller Morel 2.5. It's a new version of it, so it's a brand new hotness.
Yeah.
But boom.
What do you think about that?
They do not make a 6x9 for the 3-way. The only 6x9 they make is what is it? The
6x9, the Virtus?
No. They don't make a 6x9
Tempo
Virtus.
Ultra?
Tempo Ultra, thank you. So, yeah. So, anyways. All right. So that's what's going on. Oh, tonight we'll be live. So even though we're dead tired and we've been running like the devil for the last, well, we haven't stopped because technically we started Monday of last week and we're still on the same. We haven't not worked all weekend. So there was no weekend, and we left the install bay. We haven't been home in 36 hours. We left the install bay. We came back to the install bay. We just parked at the airport. They do not make a 4x10. Weber fan is on point today.
Yeah.
But they make a 4-inch and a tweeter, so I could make, you just make a bracket. I could make you, but you'd have to be here in Dallas, so no.
You can make a bracket 4x10 and then you put
you could
4-inch in there.
Yeah, right. It'd be so cool. But we will be live tonight taking your questions. It'll be a fun Monday night show. So maybe we'll talk a little about some of the stuff we ran into, some of the
Have to wake me up.
Yeah. But anyways, hopefully you guys have great questions tonight because that'll keep us awake and we'll have a fantastic show. Let's just go with that. But for right now, Fernando stopped unpacking his bag. We need to get his bag unpacked and we need to start on this Toyota. We got a floater going in there. And so we'll do that.
But if you want...
Hold on. Wait. Slow it down.
But if you want one of these sexy beauties in your car, you can go to morelhifi.com.
There you go.
And pick some of these.
Yeah. So there you go. Bobby, I can't drink iced tea anymore. It gives me heartburn. I think it's the lemon. It's too much acid. It's like getting old sucks. I'd like to hear about the JVC. Of course, Weber fan. We'll talk all about it tonight. Yeah. Ooh, dude, new CarPlay was sexy, bro. The new CarPlay in that with 3 lines and 5 boxes, 15 icons on it. That was cool. Yeah, dude. And then we got in your car and it's like 8, boom, huge. I'm like, oh my god, that's so like.
I like mine. It's huge.
It's easy to see, and that was the first thing I thought. I was like, oh man, there's 15 icons on this screen. That's pretty crazy. But then I saw your 8, and I was like, well, I mean, these are easy to see, but the other one looks better. But you got to be driving. I don't know. I have mixed reviews on it. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Anyways, stay tuned tonight, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live, taking your questions, doing all kinds of fun stuff as always. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
That's a big fuse holder. Wow. Good day, everyone. How's everybody doing today? It's Thursday, which I know. It's just been one crazy week. So these are the build-off trophies. This is the clean wire trophy. Those are the rulers for the clean wire challengers. This is part of our class that we're teaching. And then there's a bunch more stuff too. So these are pretty cool. Fernando made these. These are neat. I really dig these. These are for Toyota Tundras that have the silver and black dash. How cool is that? What's up? Love from Ocala. How much for installation of if I bring in my own equipment? So if you want to know, best bet is to email us a list with all pertinent information to 5starcarstereo@gmail.com. That'll go to Paul's desk, and we can then devise a quote from there. So that would be the steps you would want to take. So, like all good things, this printer is cooperating today. This printer is cooperating today. This printer is not cooperating today. I have to take this one apart. After we got done printing the silver last night, we didn't do anything else, and so it clogged, and now it's jammed up. But I'm getting pretty good at it. I'm getting pretty good at taking these things apart. I can almost do it now with like my eyes closed. So I'm gonna have to buy some parts and try to come up with a better solution. All right, so what do we have in the bay today? This is a Mercedes CLS 450. This is CLS 450. And this is in today because another shop put a subwoofer in it. Last Monday, last Monday, we looked at a Honda Accord that had ANC, and we heard that, it'll be in. We didn't put it because I didn't put a rewind up this week, so I'm gonna move that into this Monday's rewind. So if you missed it, it'll be there. Hammer adjustment. I don't know. It's just what happens is the filament comes through, and then because we're smoothing the top, I think it just heats up there and it kind of sags and it creates a little like ball or T, and then it won't come out either way. So I gotta pull it apart, pull that out, and then it works great. So I think the moral of the story is stop doing smoothing on the top. So anyway, so this is in today because another shop did it. She's a TikToker, and she went to TikTok and told everyone how unhappy she was, the power of the internet, and everyone told her to come here, which is crazy because we're not on TikTok, but apparently people that watch TikTok also watch YouTube. So it's in here today for us to fix. A couple things. First off, the install that they did was trash. It's 100% trash.
Trash.
It was trash. I mean, absolute trash.
Trash.
Yes. And
Trash.
I know I should have come on earlier today and kind of shown what they did and then talk about what the fixes were.
Shame on you, bro.
I know, I feel terrible. But we can kind of go through some of the problems. The first problem is location of the amplifier. So this is what this looks like. And you'll notice there's an amplifier sitting there. But there's a piece of carpet, this guy, that goes there. and it sits just like this, okay? And they had the amplifier sitting here on a board. I'll show you in a minute. So they were in there. Now, the problem is, as you can see, there's the battery right there. If they need to change the battery, the amplifier was bolted into place. The wire was going through here, okay? So there's really no way to safely remove this so that they could then replace the battery. So in about 2 years, life is going to suck for them. Because it's 2019, my guess is that's still, when did they oh no, they just got the battery replaced in 2023, so 2028, this is going to be a problem. That's probably why they didn't care about it. But if any service needs to be done, they're not going to be able to do it. So we came up with a different plan. So if you notice, there's these 2 bolts right here. And then there's this, which is the factory place. So our amp rack that you're seeing right here is designed to, there's those 2 bolt holes. And there is where the wire is going to go down. And so that'll all sit right here. And then they can remove these 2 bolts. And as you can see, the whole thing is removable because this is connected with the exception of the fuse that Fernando is hooking up. So everything is all set and ready to go, zip tied into place. Sub wires run up through here. So now the other thing is mounted into that was the LC2i Pro, which is fine for this because it has a factory Burmeister system, which is another problem. And I was like, all right, well, if I want to do this, I don't really need, I had the room, but I don't want it over here because I want the least amount of stuff coming to this as possible so I don't have to bang it around. So what we did with that was it's hidden right there. So I can still get to my controls and all that. Now, the other thing too was this is where they made their attachment. We have since fixed it all. But these are soldered together. Okay, so here was the weird part. They did a military splice, which is where you remove the plastic sheathing and you poke a hole through, you wrap it around, and you either leave it like that or solder it. They did that for power and ground. But for some reason on the sub wires, they didn't do that. They cut the wire and put butt connectors in there. Now, that is like a 10 gauge wire for the subwoofer. And they used a blue butt connector, which is not, that's for 12 gauge wire. So that might be a 12 gauge. Either way, basically I went up and I went like this, and the speaker wire pulled right out because it wasn't actually in the butt connector. So that kind of sucked. So I was like, oh, well, because this was either going to be a Band-Aid or a, let's totally redo it. So as soon as that happened, I was like, we're totally going to redo it. And so this was their amp rack that was in there. As you can see, there's the amp, and it's fuzzy, it's cool, it's fine. There was a giant screw right here that went into the cardboard. There's a giant screw right here that went into the cardboard. No, that was it. And then the other, this was being held in by the, so, which is cool, but yeah, trash. And then they had this fuse holder, and they did the zip tie trick. So they just put a zip tie around it, and it was just laying in there like this. Underneath this, it was getting crushed. So if that zip tie failed, this was going to pop off and be like this. And so, yay. We will not be here Thursday. We will be in Mesa, Arizona. We leave Wednesday morning. So the following Thursday we'll be here though. Anyways, so there's that. The other thing too was the bass knob was just flopping around on the floor. Apparently they put one screw in, and so that was bad. So Fernando fixed that first. So really right now all we need is power hooked up. But one of the things, the first thing that we tested was ANC. Does it have ANC? And this thing had a ton of ANC, which might have been the reason why they had the volume so low on the subwoofer, is they were trying to mask that so that you didn't hear it. I'm hoping. Because it really wasn't that impressive. The other thing is they only have 112. Well, this thing's taking forever. They only have 112, and really they should probably have 2, because this is a Mercedes and it's sealed up nice and tight. Yeah, cut away. So, anyways, a few minutes we'll get this thing wrapped up. But today is Thursday, which means tonight. Ooh, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Sunlight is pouring. Oh, the clouds over here. So there's the wispy crowds. It's a beautiful day outside. But listen to him cut that plastic. Yeah, so things are a little crazy here right now. We're just trying to get through all of this in the midst of planning for MasterTech Expo, which starts for us Wednesday morning. We get into Mesa about 8 o'clock in the morning, 9 o'clock, about 8:30. I think is when our plane lands, and we immediately have to go somewhere to do some top secret stuff, which I'm pretty excited about. So, yes, and that's heavy NDA. So we can talk about that. We'll be able to talk about that in a couple months, but maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they tell us. If we can talk about it, we'll definitely talk about it. But right now we can't. All right, what do you think, Fernando?
Huh?
What do you think? Is this, yeah, what do you think? Think this is going to be louder now that we fixed the ANC? He doesn't have any faith in it being any louder.
I think they're not gonna have that issue.
Well, that's solved that issue.
So I think that's what we're doing it, right?
Yeah. So, anyways, that's where we're at on this. That's what's happening in the Bay today. I don't know what else to say. It's been one heck of a week. Oh, check these out. So one of the things we figured out how to do in the laser. Where's the other folder?
Huh?
Oh, so at the build off, I just need this. Did that fix it?
No.
Oh.
No, we have to do it because it's like shaky.
Well, no, it's supposed to be shaky.
No.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be straight.
It's totally supposed to be shaky. Anyways, so one of the things that's happening at the build off this year is that we have 8 judges that are going to judge it, and Fernando, in his desire to not participate but totally participate, make my life miserable, but also elevate the thing, was he's like, the judges need to have folders with their names on them and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my god, I don't have time for this crap. So we made these. This is from the laser. Apparently the laser can laser paper. Who knew, right? That's pretty cool. So this was my test run this morning to see if it would work, and it worked freaking awesome. So we're going to come out with some artwork to go on top of the folders so that each judge has a folder, and then we can hopefully reuse them next year. So that's pretty cool. I didn't even know a laser could do that. It's pretty awesome. So that'd be fun. If you're not going to MasterTech Expo, the question would always be, why are you not? Other than money, because that's usually how it goes.
You should go.
Is it easier for you to install dash cam while you're doing an audio system, or better to do it separately? Really doesn't matter. I mean, a dash cam is pretty straightforward. Most of the time the dash cam goes along the headliner, so it's typically not anything to do with a system, so to speak. It's just one more thing, whereas it's just literally just one more thing. If we did a dash cam while we were doing a system, and let's say we're putting in a radio, then obviously we could wire it up behind the radio. If not, they all come with you buy a dash cam, you buy the hardwire kit. It comes with all the fuse holders and whatnot to integrate it into the fuse box. If your fuse box is cool, unlike this Mercedes, it has 200 empty fuses in the back, but no accessory. Even though the accessory relay is back there, and you hear that thing clicking. You're like, come on, man, really? So, but no accessory fuses. Well, there might be a fuse. I didn't test any fuse. I just tested. Anyways, who cares? But no, it wouldn't really matter. So I guess I should say that this Instagram is brought to you by the fine folks at MorelHiFi.com. Morel Car Audio, my personal favorite. They support it. They make this show possible for us. We talked about earlier this week, we're going to do some Sensus towers. I can't wait to do those. If I can get everything I need to get done, well, I want to get them done because, for one, they're taking up room, and two, I really want to hear them. I do need to get some spikes for the bottom. if anybody has a good, like reasonably priced spikes, I'm just going to go on Amazon or probably go back to Parts Express and see if they have anything. Because I feel it needs to have spikes. Because I don't want to scratch up the bottom of them with this crappy concrete floor. But they're going to jam out. So we'll have those to listen to. So basically that means is if I can get them done before I go to Canada, Fernando would probably be super happy. Because then he would jam out while I was in Canada.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Dude.
Wouldn't it be cool?
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I'll come in early one morning and we'll bang them out. Since I'm coming in early every morning. So, what brands of 12 is in the car? Oh, so, you saw the JL amp, so naturally, it's JL. So they have this little guy here. Probably not my first choice for a Mercedes. Because okay, so, as we know, this car is not, it's sound treated everywhere. Then when those seats go up, this thing, like, the whole idea behind this is you could be screaming in here and no one would hear you up front. So you put a subwoofer in there, you need more subwoofer than you would normally need in, like, an inexpensive car. So there is that. Speaking of Morel, have you seen the new 3.5-inch Supremo mid-range yet? No, we have not. They will send us the Sensus and the Virtus and the Elates. They probably will not send us the Supremos. But if they're at Master Tech Expo, I will snap a picture and I will check them out. That is a big trunk. It is a big trunk. It's dying for 212s. So we'll see what happens. The goal right now is just get it up and working and not have issues. So if we can get that far, like I told him, I was like, let's get the one working and right. And then if we need to, we can always swap the one out for two. So like 2P212s in here would probably be pretty badass. So, or maybe the Kenwood Exelon box. That would probably work too. That would look a lot like this one. Because Kenwood copied them. How much is this Supremo line? It's all the way in the right column shopping. That's one of those, like, if you gotta ask. They're the top of the line for Morel, so they're the premium product, premium price point. Because it's an IC power chip on the head units. The question was, why can't you bridge the outputs? So it's funny. In the past, older Pioneers, you used to be able to bridge the rear channels. Okay, you could do that. But the newer stuff is not like that. They've, obviously the amplifiers have changed. And because of that, they can't be bridged. The little IC chips on them aren't designed for that kind of use. It's all this poop. All right. Oh, whoa, that's neat. ABS is so much fun to print with. It sucks. I don't know why anybody wants to print with. As soon as we're done with all the ABS we have, we're gonna switch to something else because ABS is trash. Right.
Hi. I'm looking for a fuse. Have you seen it? The holder? Never mind. Got it. Continue with the light.
Wow, the ABS actually smooths off even better. Like, that looks really good, but look at the back. See how it kind of went a little crazy?
But that's fine because it's the back.
Yeah, I know, but still. The front looks good. But following that same logic, I need to print something else. Did you just break it?
No.
You sure? Sounded like you broke it.
I mean, the idea was to do this, right?
Yeah, sure.
And be able to maintain.
Yeah. Anyways.
Rock.
Don't break it. I need to put a new front on it.
No, but like this is not gonna be the last one.
No, I'm just gonna use that one. We ain't got time to print like 6 more of these.
We still have tomorrow.
Oh, Jesus Christ. This guy, I swear to God. Alright, let's see.
This one is like, look at that. Look.
What do you, I can't see, like, dude, literally can't see that far.
Well, it's angled.
The backside? Yeah, I know. I know. Have you tried ASA? No, and that is what I'm going to try is ASA because I have Pet G at home. Hate it. It takes forever to print Pet G, almost as long as it takes to print ABS. These are made out of PLA because these are just demos. But no, I want to get some. Basically, right now we're just trying to figure out what works the best before I spend a whole bunch of money on any more. So we bought like some sample crap, and it is definitely sample crap. I'm not doing what I want, but you know, so is life. But no, I think ASA will be the way to go next. Home, open project. Okay, so can I just print again? Like, cancel. Recently opened. Yeah. Discard, modified values. There we go. Alright, so we're just gonna print this. Strength, quality, ABS. So let's switch that to ABS. Global, no, object. Outside, plate. There we go. 3, 1, ABS. Alright, sorry. Oh, that was neat. Okay, so ABS. Let's cancel that. Alright, so what do we got? Is the store finally done being remodeled? The store is not done being remodeled, but it is far enough along to where I'm not worried about it at the moment. But I tell you what, let me hit print, and we'll send that to the printer. All right, so that should clean out the head. Let's head over there. You know, I think you guys have seen it. The most recent version of it. Well, for those of you that haven't. Okay. Get some steps in. Yeah. Fernando knows about Morel. That's why he does the ads. All right, so let's give you the walk-in view. All right, so here's the walk-in view. Our most popular subwoofers is the Rockford P series. We changed this. This is the most recent addition we did. We added more subwoofer enclosures, and of course the floor pieces, and then this is all eliminated. So these are like the new Stinger boxes, and of course Fox's boxes, and then some of the kicker boxes. Like here's all the kicker boxes. So that is that, and of course the ugly thing here is this camera, because can't put it anywhere else but out here where everyone can see it. So way to go, Paul. But at least there's nothing sitting on the floor here, which every day I come over, there's usually something right here. Instead, it's sitting right here. So these have been moved. Those were over there. These are now here. This shouldn't be here, but there again, Paul will find any place he can. So this 1-inch strip of drywall here means that he can put something here. Paul, you need to move this. That doesn't belong there. Those don't belong there either. You're blocking the door. Hate these, but so this area here is the next area. This is kind of where he's just been hoarding everything instead of putting the stock on where it belongs. So that display, there's a couple displays back here that were in the old store are going to go away. This display is, anyways, this display here is the old Focal display. Well, it's a new Focal display. That's going to go somewhere back here. I have to bring an electrician to remove these, and then we'll paint. Supposedly there's going to be a wall here with a door. I haven't figured that out yet. And then this is supposed to get a window. So the only other there's like this wall space here that he's just chomping at the bit to put something on the wall because he can't have. Yeah, so luckily we've been keeping everything to the floor is lava. So that's the game we play. The floor is lava, so you can't stand on it. So, all right. All right. What do we got here? Looks great. Does look good. Yeah. Which of those would fit in a 2016 Tundra double cab? Tundra. That's a good question. I think the Tundra is 2000. I think that's this box here. Because this has that weird shape. This is from Ground Shaker. So, groundshaker.com. Same box. You can just order it. So, which product practically sells themselves? The cellular over here is terrible. It keeps dropping. Loudspeakers. Loudspeakers sell themselves. Paul likes selling loudspeakers because you don't have to do anything, right, Paul? Yep. People just walk in and go, what do they say? Give me 10 of them dimes. Give me 10 of them fives. What you got for a 6.5? Yeah, pretty much. See, he's just shaking his head. What you got? You got them 8s? You got them 8s? Let me get 4 of them 8s. What do you got to go with them? Anyways, he loves that stuff because they just walk in, talk, and then they just walk out. How come you guys don't do more with American Bass? Paul, how come we don't do more with your brother's American Bass company? It's Bob's fault. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's Bob's fault. They're brothers, family. You don't do business with family. That would have been a better answer. Thanks, dude. You're welcome. So here's a funny one. So this is a 1037. This is a 1057. So this is the DSP wall. So you got a Helix, an Arc, and a Moscone. That way we can, these are basically the 3 DSPs that we recommend. But that guy there is like, dude, you can be all the way over here and it's just so bright. You know, and as you look at all these little radios over here, and you can see the 1037, but you can't see any of the other radios. Like even there, they're just like, keep going, 1037, still see it. And you can see it changing. So people ask, why do I like the Kenwoods? They got the best displays. They look so good. But that's only the 1037 or the 1057 or going with navigation that nobody buys. Because why would you need navigation? Here's the new kicker. Down firing to L7 box. But there again, the floor is lava, so he's been doing a really okay job at keeping everything off the floor. So I'm happy. Like this is the happiest I've been with the showroom. I really want to get to the back side of it and get the high-end room done. That way we can put like the high-end morels up and all that other stuff. But so that's where we're at on that. How you doing?
I guess I'm okay.
Okay. Let's see how the printer's doing. See if it's gooing away. All right, cool. It's clearing out the tip. See this one? Not so much. It's just, God. What's with the shirts? So those are Paul's shirts. Those are shirts from like vendors. So those are like Rockford shirts and some other shirts. They are not 5-star shirts. He doesn't have any of that stuff. So yeah, at some point you'll be able to like buy that shirt and then come over here and we could put a 5-star logo on it. But we're not to that point yet because we're slow and it takes me forever to do anything. I wonder if I could just hit this with a sander. Probably not, right? Because it'll expose the inner guts. Yeah, let's not do that. Yes, he does have Rockford shirts. All right. I'm pretty excited. I can't wait to get this thing in and going. But with that, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for playing along with us. We hope you have a great day. Hopefully we'll see some of you tonight on the High 5A Network, where we're talking about car stereo stuff, and then we'll do Side Jag after that. We're going to talk about Venom, the movie, and then we'll see how it goes. And then today is Thursday, so tomorrow morning is Friday, which means 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll be doing the news. How exciting is that? Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Fernando.
Bye.
MorelleHiFi.com.
MorelleHiFi.com. Go for it.
Bingo. See ya.